Okay, well, chat, we did it. All right? We did it. We went out there. We spent a ton of effort. We spent a ton of time. And Humanist Report, thank you very much for the raid. Welcome, Raiders. I really appreciate you all being here. Welcome, 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 folks. It is a good day to be a progressive. A good day to lean to the left. Welcome, Raiders. My name is Riverboat Jack. I am a lefty political commentator. I talk about the news, politics. I'm a socialist. I'm also a trans lady. If you got questions about either of those things, please let me know because I love talking about them. And we are just in time. We're here to talk about the wins that we got in Wisconsin and in Chicago. And we're also going to talk a little bit about the hurdles that are popping up on a state level in a couple of places around the country, one of them including Wisconsin. So make sure you keep an eye peeled, keep your ears open, and let's get down to it. Welcome, Raiders, and Mike, thank you very much for the raid. I appreciate it. Hope you had a great stream, and we don't need no masks? Oh, you need masks, baby. I'm autistic as fuck, and if I don't mask, this stream gets hella boring, okay? Because I just stare, and I don't emote. So, this is what we doing today, alright? So, I'm gonna open this, instead of opening with Janet Protasewicz's victory speech, we're gonna open it with Dan Kelly's concession speech, because I think it's actually quite funny. Okay, I think it's actually really, really funny because he is a very sore loser. This is the second time he's lost the race for the state Supreme Court in Wisconsin, and frankly, he's a bit salty about it. God, that's a terrible sound. This actual ghoul.
Wow. Thank you so much for joining me here tonight. It is lovely to see all of you. And it's lovely to see all of you behind the camera all across this beautiful state of Wisconsin. I want to start out by just telling you my deepest gratitude for everything that you've done. I've traveled this state talking about the difference between the rule of law and the rule of Janet. How important it is to conserve our constitutional heritage. And why it's so important that we keep that Constitution strong. Because that's what protects our liberties. But all I did was have the great good fortune to have numerous conversations with the beautiful people of Wisconsin all over the state. And that was a joy and a blessing to me, and I thank you from the deepest parts of my heart for that. What you did was phenomenal. You made this candidacy sing. You made this a beautiful thing to be a part of. Everywhere I went in Wisconsin, I saw people who were passionate about their Constitution and passionate about their liberties and about the future of this great state of Wisconsin. And I saw some of the most remarkable efforts that I have ever seen to promote and secure that future. And that inspired me like you would not believe. You might know that it is hard to do a statewide campaign. It takes an awful lot out of you, especially for an introvert like me. You know, even for an introvert, I drew so much inspiration and energy from all of you. I saw it in your eyes, how much you care. I saw it in your actions, and all the doors that you knocked on, the thousands of phone calls that you made, the postcards that you wrote,
The postcards.
and all I could do was say thank you. And it felt
Yo, Republicans out here campaigning like it's 1838. What the hell?
so inadequate. Because I wanted you to know so much more what this has meant, not just to me, but to my family, and for all those who care about the constitutional order. And all I had was those simple words, just thank you. Thank you. And even now, I don't know how to express my gratitude adequately. I'm just so grateful for all of you. Now, this didn't turn out the way that we were looking for. And I think there are a couple of reasons for it, and I think we need to address them head on. And it brings me no joy to say this. I wish that in a circumstance like this, I would be able to concede to a worthy opponent. But I do not have a worthy opponent to which I can concede.
True that.
This was the most deeply deceitful, dishonorable, despicable campaign I have ever seen run for the courts. It was truly beneath contempt. Now, I say this not because we did not prevail. I do not say this because of the rancid slanders that were launched against me, although that was bad enough. But that is not my concern.
Yeah, totally apolitical, apolitical candidate Dan Kelly, endorsed by Wisconsin Right to Life. Yeah, very apolitical. Definitely hasn't done anything like, I don't know, pledged to champion pro-life values and stand with Right to Life's legislative strategy. That's weird. Weird. That's so crazy, bro.
My concern is the damage done to the institution of the court.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
The
My
institution.
opponent is a serial liar.
Yep. Yes. Yep.
She's
Also, it sounds like they have like 3 people in that room and a baby.
disregarded judicial ethics.
Yep.
She's demeaned the judiciary with her behavior. And this is the future that we have to look forward to in Wisconsin. I have been committed to the rule of law my entire career. I understand this to be the most fundamental, basic promise of civilization. And in its heart, it lives in the judiciary, and if not there, nowhere at all. We've had this laid out plainly for us. We could have the rule of law or the rule of Janet. But the people of Wisconsin have chosen the rule of Janet. Now, I respect that decision because it is theirs to make. So I've gone around this great state of ours. Everywhere I've gone, I've reminded the people that all the power to create and maintain governments in this state belongs to them. And all the power to decide who sits in the seats created by their Constitution belongs to them. And I promised them that I would respect their decision in this race, regardless of what it is. Because that is what a servant does.
It's true. It's true. Judge Janet is now the dictator of Wisconsin, everybody. I don't know if you know this, but Judge Janet, just by winning this election, has undermined the Republican attempts to subvert democracy, and for that, she is a dictator.
So I respect the decision that the people of Wisconsin have made. But I think this does not end well. Now, as I look forward, I I hope it does end well. This has been a beautiful, beautiful life here in Wisconsin with all of you. And I wish Wisconsin the best of luck, because I think it's going to need it. Thank you.
There we go. So, of course, the entirety of Wisconsin is now a unmitigated hellscape because Janet Protasewicz won her election. Let's see what she has to say about her new regime.
We love you, Janet. We love you.
Dang. Right off the bat, certainly sounds like there are more people in this room.
Well, Wisconsin, guess what? We did it. We did it.
What the hell? Oh, also, just so you guys know, this is the first time Wisconsin's state Supreme Court has leaned to the left since 2008. Since 2008, folks. This is actually like a huge, monumental turn for the court.
I want to thank all of you for being here this evening to celebrate this wonderful victory. Today's results have been over a year in the
What the hell?
making. I've been traveling this entire state for the last year. I could not have done it without the hard work and dedication of all of you right here in this room. Just over a year ago, I got into this race. I made the decision because I saw that Wisconsinites were ready for common sense and fairness on their Supreme Court. Thank you, Kathy. They were ready to put aside the partisanship and put aside the extremism and to have an impartial court, and a court that makes decisions based on the law, not on a political agenda. Look at you, Sue, not in blue. My career and my community has really prepared me for this evening tonight. I was born and raised nearby on the south side of Milwaukee to Hardin.
No leftist audio? Well, all the audio is coming from the left side of my headphones right now, so I have to assume it's leftist audio in some degree.
Working parents. I went to UWM on the U bus. I went to Marquette Law School and I worked my way through college as a waitress. Guess where? None other than Mark's home of the Big Boy, Point Loomis. Throughout my career, I've seen our judicial system up close. And I believe in something that is universal to Wisconsinites all across our state. And that is that everyone should get a fair shot to demand justice and not feel like the thumb is on the scale against them. I care deeply about this state. It has been my home my entire life. And I care deeply about all of you, the people of the state of Wisconsin. You are the only client I have ever served throughout my 35-year career in the law. I love you all!
Aw, Janet's got a bunch of oomphies.
I knew that the people of Wisconsin expected, and deserved more from their Supreme Court. Of course, I want to thank all of the volunteers and supporters in every corner of Wisconsin. And I've been to every corner of Wisconsin. And you have made today's victory possible. from the thousands of door knocks, and I know you've done door knocks, to the phone calls, to the conversations with your friends and neighbors, and all of your efforts to get out the vote, they were all worth it and proved just how unstoppable our campaign was.
Yeah, keep in mind, folks, like, from some of the numbers I've been seeing, Judge Janet won Wisconsin by 11 points, which is insane, especially considering the gerrymandering. So, if the scales are tipped into a much more equitable territory, Wisconsin could be turning a corner, okay?
I want to thank my incredible staff, led by my campaign manager, Alejandro Verdeen. Alejandro, are you here?
Thank you, King. Thank you, King. Thank you, King. Thank you, Alex.
And my incredible general consultant, Patrick. Where are you? Patrick Rossi. It is risky when you thank the rest of your staff because we have quite a large staff, because you're fearful you're going to miss someone, but I'm going to try anyway. Where's Sam Recker? Sam?
We won,
Straight
chat.
ahead. Sam Recker is utterly amazing. He's our communications director. Where's Sam Langheim? Sam was the finance director. Sam gets tired of me telling this story, but I'd say about a month ago, we started in Milwaukee, then we did 2 stops, and we had this rented Suburban that didn't, have windshield wiper fluid in it. And I was running a little low on gas, and then we did 2 stops in Madison, and then we drove to Hudson, and then we drove to Rice Lake, Jane Carroll, and then we drove to Superior. And by the time we got to Superior, Sam said, "I've had it." And I said, "Okay, give me the keys to that Suburban. I'm going to go out and get a bite to eat." Well, I couldn't see. The vehicle had no gas. The next thing I knew, I was on a big bridge, and I was in Duluth, Minnesota.
Duluth.
And I called Sam, and I said, "We have a problem." And he said, "Did you crack up the car?" I said, "No." He's like, "Well, then it's not that bad." I said, "Well, you need to Uber out here and drive me back." And he did with no complaints. He's been wonderful. That's Sam. Where's Marshall? Marshall Cohen. Marshall's amazing. He was with me 10 years ago. He's in Washington, D.C. now. He's been helping me. A mastermind, a political mastermind who helped with the messaging and any political questions I ever had. Sachin, are you in here? Sachin Cheda. We had field organizers all over the state. Best of the best was Simon. You probably got all sorts of text messages from us asking you to do things for us. You can thank Jacob right over here for all of those. Jacob and Neil. I would be remiss if I failed to mention Julia and Joyce and Carly and Allison and Jackie and Morgan, who must think I'm 22 years old with the schedule that she set up for me, that she did all of that. And then the brains behind our television
Metal Kitty Mom.
commercials. Ben Knuckles, where are you? Ben Knuckles. So it was quite a team. I cannot imagine that we could have had a better team to weather this campaign. I also want to thank my wonderful husband, Greg. He's been by my side through the ups and downs of this campaign.
My name's not Randy Nass.
His name's not Randy Nass. He's truly been the best support system. I thank him for believing in me. My brother Steve is here someplace. My sister-in-law Jen, they drove in from Cleveland to be here with us today. Words cannot really express my gratitude and pride that I have for all the components that made up this campaign and the hope that I have for the future of Wisconsin.
I feel kind of bad for Judge Janet because clearly everyone color coordinated to be wearing blue. And then at the last minute, she probably realized, crap, my glasses are red. But you know what? That's okay.
It is the absolute honor of a lifetime to be elected as your next justice on the Wisconsin
Red
Supreme
Menace.
Court.
Oh, I like the glasses a lot. Yeah,
These
it's
incredible
it's a Marxist signal, chat. You just don't understand.
Results that we had this evening
Hey, Kevin.
would not have been possible without the voters of the state of Wisconsin who showed up at the polls and used the power of their ballot to make their voices heard. So finally, to the people of this beautiful state of Wisconsin, I thank you. Today's results mean two very important and special things. First, it means that Wisconsin voters have made their voices heard. They've chosen to reject partisan extremism in this state.
Hell yeah.
And second, it means our democracy will always prevail.
I mean, I don't know that that's what that means, to be honest, Judge Janet. It seems like it's really been hanging on by a thread here recently. Let's not downplay the threat that fascist extremism does in our country, please.
Too many have tried to overturn the will of the people. Today's results show that Wisconsinites believe in democracy and the democratic process. Today, I'm proud to stand by the promise I've made to every Wisconsinite that I will always deliver justice and bring common sense to our Supreme Court. This is a victory for all of us. You have entrusted me with great responsibility, and I will treat the role with the highest degree of integrity. I will bring the fairness and impartiality that you have all been waiting for. And I will be a part of the solution to make our Supreme Court, along with my soon-to-be new colleagues, right here.
Damn, they can actually show a crowd in that room. That's crazy.
Something that you will always feel proud of. As you all know, our state motto is forward. And today, I am proud that we are going to be able to live up to our motto. Our state is taking a step forward to a better and brighter future where our rights and freedoms will be protected. And while there is still work to be done, tonight we celebrate this historic victory that has obviously reignited hope in so many of us. Again, to all of you, for your hard work, for your support, and for your energy, thank you.
Damn, that was loud. We did it, folks! We got out there, we rolled up our sleeves, we made a difference, and I am really excited that y'all can be part of this with me. It's a big deal. It's a big, big deal. Cherish this win.